fucking hate them. I work with them. I'd also like to establish I am wearing a hat, but I do have hair. A little about myself. I am a millennial, which means my retirement plan is waiting for my parents to die. They're relying on me for health advice, so I guess what I'm trying to say is I have options, you know? I had a very typical millennial upbringing as well, so my adolescence was defined by the rise of social media, clinical depression, and internet porn. Oh, it's true, we're a very sad, very horny generation. Internet porn was getting really big when I was a kid. I must have been exposed to it when I was like 11, which is way too young to be exposed to that kind of stuff, right? Because you only just learn about sex. You don't really understand what's what. It's just not healthy, right? And because of that, for years as a kid, I had really unrealistic expectations about jobs in the service industry. Like, for example, when we were kids, you know, in school we had these icebreakers every year, and they would always ask, you know, what you wanted to be when you grew up, right? And then every year, everyone said the same thing. It would be doctor, engineer, lawyer. Until about grade 7, when 4 of us said pizza delivery man. And we weren't fucking complete idiots, right? Like, we knew the job wasn't perfect. We knew the pay wasn't great. But in our minds, what you lacked in a pension, you made up for in pussy. So. I also had a kid during the pandemic. So, you don't have to applaud. That's fine. I don't. I had a kid relatively young too. I think 29 is now young to have a kid by choice. It's not like the boomers who had kids at like fucking 12 or something. I don't really know much about how the boomers grew up, except they all bought houses at fucking 15 after working at a lemonade stand for the summer. What I do know about the boomers though is they love to treat us like tech support, right? Like my parents, they called me the other day, they needed help with their scanner, right? I'm like, my first question was, who the fuck uses a scanner? Seriously, just take a fucking picture. But you know, I wanted to help them out, so we go through the motions, right? Where I asked them to turn on, turn off their computer. My dad's reading me the model number, Canon MF3, like it fucking means anything to me. And after about a half hour, I'm just like, fuck it, you know, I have no idea what's wrong with your scanner. And you know, it's bad enough that they treat us like tech support, but it's worse when you're the Indian child of boomer parents. So my parents have been here so long, 40 years, that they've effectively bought into the stereotype of the Indian tech support worker. So now they're getting angry, right? They're like, what do you mean you don't know? I'm like, holy shit, they're gonna ask for my manager. Like, I don't know what's wrong with your scanner, I'm sorry, I'm not tech support. And it gets real quiet. And finally, my mother, with a long sigh, Dhawal, you're just too Canadian. And I was just like, what the fuck? Is that what separates a Canadian from a non-Canadian? Their ability to fix their parents' fucking scanner? Honestly, it's like they think India won independence from the British by putting them on hold for 3 hours. I think it's a point of pride for them, though, you know what I mean? Like, the export of Indian tech support workers is somewhere between butter chicken and Gandhi. I'm a flexitarian, which means that I usually follow a vegetarian diet, but when the opportunity presents itself, I will eat pussy. Don't tell our manager about this. No, I do eat meat. I was raised a vegetarian, though my parents are religious Hindus. And if you know anything about Hinduism, you know that beef is a big no-no, right? So my parents don't eat beef, but they fucking love leather. So they won't eat cow, but they will sit on it. And put it on their feet. At least they're not vegans, though, thank God. Not that I have anything against vegans, do you know what I mean? Like, I actually think vegans are right. No, I do think it's morally wrong to eat animals. I don't care that it's morally wrong to eat animals. You know, like, whenever I see vegan activists outside my favorite burger joint with signs like, beef is genocide, I'm like, huh, guess I like genocide more than I thought. I do think they need to work on their marketing, though. You know, I need to bring people over onto their side. Like, I remember I was on the train and I saw this ad from PETA, and it had a kid and a dog on it, and it said pigs have been found to be smarter than dogs, but you wouldn't eat Fido, would you? And you know, when I saw that ad, I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was obsessed with one question. Do dogs taste like bacon? I'm not gonna lie, if they do, I'll probably try. Right? And that's what some vegans don't get, how much we fucking love meat. The whole point of the ad was trying to reframe pigs as dogs, but all it did for me was reframe dogs as pork. Now every time I see a fucking pug on the street, I can't stop but imagine on a fucking spit roast. Alright, that's my time, everybody.
Dhawal Selarka, ladies and gentlemen.